Alrighty, something less horrific this time. Let's talk about book burnings. I said less horrific. I didn't say less horrific than what. So let's do fan art first, and then we'll get into that. This one is from A Riddle of Lightning, me worshipping my true religion of galvanized square steel. And, of course, stair steel. As always, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it into the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and talk about Florida. Because where else is book burning going to happen? It's Florida, Texas, and a few other places. Ohio, probably. Anywho, New College of Florida tosses hundreds of library books, empties gender diversity library. So, I said book burning. They're not physically burning the books. They're just throwing them all away and not donating them to people and not letting anybody use them and not doing anything but just destroying all of them because they talk about gender. Hundreds of New College of Florida library books, included many on LGBTQ topics and religious studies, are headed to a landfill. A dumpster in the parking lot of Jane Bancroft Cook Library on the campus of New College overflowed with books and collections from a now-defunct Gender and Diversity Center on Tuesday afternoon. Video captured in the afternoon showed a vehicle driving away with the books before students were notified. Okay. In the past, students were given an opportunity to purchase the books that were leaving the college's collection. So I guess they decided that it's better to just destroy them so students don't get access to the spooky, scary knowledge about gender. I guess. That's... okay. Why? New College of Florida dumped hundreds of library books this afternoon. The school has also emptied the college's Gender and Diversity Center, tossing hundreds of their books. Okay. Some discarded books included 9 and counting: The Woman of the Senate, The War of the Worlds, and When I Knew, which is a collection of stories from LGBTQ people recounting when they knew they were gay. Several people from the GDC were several books from the GDC were retrieved by local activists from the SEE Alliance and a few students before they could be taken to disposal. New College then responds to the book dumping. After the Herald Tribune reported the book disposal, New College spokesperson Nathan March sent a statement asserting that the account was false. He said the college undertaking a routine weeding of its campus library and removing materials from the GDC because the gender studies program no longer exists. A library needs regular review to renew its collection to ensure its materials are meeting the current needs of the students and the faculty, March wrote. The images seen online of a dumpster of library materials is related to the standard weeding process. Ah, yes, it's just standard, everyone. March referenced Florida Statute 273 as the reason the books could not be donated or sold. However, FS 273 states that New College can dispose of state-funded personal property by selling or transferring the property to any other government entity, or private nonprofit agency, or through the sale to the open public. So they just lied. So they're just lying. They're just like, yeah, no, this bill that you're never going to read says that this is the only way we're going to do it. Our hands were tied. What more could we have done? Maybe instead of throwing away a bunch of books on gender, you should learn how to fucking read. Maybe before being the people in charge of a library, you should learn how to open up a book and read it for yourself. Maybe that would be a good idea, because obviously you can't fucking do that. Or at the very least, you expect that your own constituents can't fucking do that, in which case, why are you in charge of a library in the first place if you don't think anybody that you have that's important to you can fucking read? Many books have been damaged from water by Tropical Storm Debbie, he added. It's unclear how many books were damaged, but the video of the book-filled dumpster did show some books with visible water damage. March also said that because no one claimed the GDC library of books from their previous home in the Hamilton Center, the books were moved to a location behind the library meant for book returns. The donation box sits several feet from the book-filled dumpster. in new colleges' move-in days isn't until August 23rd, meaning most students aren't even on campus yet. Ah, yes, we tried to give them to the students. We tried to sell them to them, but they didn't come. Meanwhile, the students couldn't because it wasn't time for school yet. School hadn't started. So what were they supposed to do? Teleport there? I don't know. Before Thursday's Board of Trustees meeting, Amy Reed, the faculty chair and representative of the board, said she hadn't heard about the disposal of the books. When shown photos and videos, she was visibly shocked. She said, when you throw away books, you also throw away democracy. They take trees and people had a service to recognize the loss of those trees. I want to do that for books because the books are what matter. Natalie Benavides, a 21-year-old fourth-year student at New College, said books in the dumpster carried the college's seal as well as a discard sticker on the spine. She watched the truck take the books away and retained several books from the GDC before they could be thrown away. When she asked officials whether they could donate the books, she said that she was told that under the state statute, the college can't donate the books that were purchased with state funds, which again is a lie because FS 273 says that they can. Following the Herald Tribune's report, the American Civil Liberties Union of Florida, the ACLU, published a statement condemning the disposal of books on the new college's campus, calling it a direct attack on free speech and academic freedom. They said this is not merely an administrative oversight, it is an intentional act of censorship that strikes at the heart of our democratic values and the very purpose of education. So now there's an interesting part in here that I want to look at. Because it said that there was a related story where Amy ended up having to leave, Amy Reed. So let's see if we can find that real quick. Because I want to see what the why is there. Amy Reed, the faculty chair of the board. Where was it? Yep. Amy Reed, chair of New College in Florida, is leaving now. This is published as of today. Amy Reed, New College of Florida's faculty representative of the Board of Trustees since 2023 and a former chair of the college's now defunct Gender Studies program, is leaving the college, she announced at a meeting on Thursday. She told the Herald Tribune that she is taking a leave of absence without pay for a year to work a grant position with PEN America, a nonprofit focused on free expression. Reed has been with New College since 1996 and was the founding director of the school's Gender Studies program. Reed represented opposition on the board to the director, Governor Ron DeSantis-led transformation of New College. Meetings during the tenure were often filled with dozens of her follow-up questions directed at President Richard Krikorian and the decisions of the board majority. In her final remarks to the board, Reed thanked the New College community for its leadership, even if they didn't always see eye to eye. She said, our visions of the past, present, and future of New College do not always align. It is, after all, just 1 year since this board voted to abolish the Gender Studies program that I have worked to build which colleges and students over the years. But I appreciate the work everyone does on this campus. Shortly after seating of a conservative majority to the New College's Board of Trustees, it moved to abolish the Gender Studies program in its Office of Inclusive Excellence. During the Thursday meeting, Corcoran offered complimentary remarks to Reed, said, there's just no question I think anybody in this entire community would argue that Dr. Reed is passionate and supportive of New College. Her heart is with New College. Okay. So, if I were to analyze this, like psychoanalyze this as a person, like reading fiction and looking at character motivations, if the program that you head is abolished by your state and your psychopathic governor, it would then behoove me to look at a character who saw that happen, to have them go on a character arc where they would try to fight for the ability to talk about the things that are important to them. They did found the Gender Studies program, and that was abolished, and then books were burned, literally and figuratively. So it makes sense that the first thing that Amy decides to do is go and try to work for a nonprofit that deals with free speech, that talks about freedom of expression in America. That makes perfect sense as the next thing to do. But you know what this feels like to me? I hate to bring up a terrible, terrible person's work of fiction, but most of us have probably read Harry Potter, right? Do you know that moment where you find out that Lucius Malfoy has been, politically maneuvering all of the governors for Hogwarts for years just so that he can get Dumbledore off the board? This feels like that. This feels a lot like that, where you find out that there's actually, terrible people who are trying desperately to get more and more positions in power until they have a majority, and then use that majority to take somebody who is seemingly very well-meaning and yeet them away from their position of any kind of power. I don't know. If there's one thing I've learned about Harry Potter, it's that it's a very unoriginal work, in that everything that happens in it is very based on other bits of fiction and also reality. So it makes sense that reality would have also this very unoriginal arc. That's just me. Paladin Lost, thank you for resubscribing for 7 months. I appreciate it. Said all of Harry Potter was stolen. All work is derivative in some way, shape, or form. But Harry Potter more so than many others. Yeah. Fennec the Rabbit says, all I can think of is the trash cans full of books in that one episode of Handmaid's Tale. It's just that again. It's like, yeah, no, it doesn't serve our school because it talks about gender, and gender's bad and evil and wrong, and I don't know, the internet exists. Maybe we probably have access to all that information still. Hey, oi, oi. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below, because where I am, this seems pretty cut and dry. This seems like an attempted removal of more and more LGBTQ literature and studies from academia, from Governor Ron DeSantis, who is a colossal piece of shit and has constantly done terrible things like, oh, I don't know, actual human trafficking, where he sent a whole bunch of people who were supposed to be going and getting their paperwork filed for immigration, ended up sending them to a sanctuary city so many miles away that they couldn't possibly meet any of their deadlines and would, in fact, by default, get deported. That Governor DeSantis. I'm sorry, if he tripped on a nail tomorrow, my day would be improved significantly. Anyway, as always, everybody, insert in a video tagline here.
Hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that. Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full-time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full-time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.